So you're thinking about moving here to Frederick, Maryland, and you're surfacing the internet for all different pros and cons of the area, but you keep coming across the same thing. There's traffic, there's snow, the weather's bad. It's just so service level that you're not getting the real meat and bones of what it's like to live in this area. Well, in this video, we're gonna do something completely different than you've ever seen before, and we're gonna ask the people of Frederick County what they think about living here. So stick around, let's get after it right now. All right guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Sean McGrady, a local realtor here in the Frederick, Maryland area and Maryland in general, primarily working with people like you relocating to this area. I've grown up here my whole entire life. It's all I know. And with that comes the ability for when I'm doing these pros and cons videos I've done in the past, and for anyone else doing pros and cons video, what's normal to me is maybe not normal for you. What I've seen here in Frederick County is, like, if I see something crazy happen, it's something that happens every single day in Frederick County. To me, I don't think about it. To me, it's just normal. For you moving here, it may be like, what is this? Why did I move here? No one told me about this. And so that is the plan of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on Facebook. We're gonna go into a really popular Facebook group. I'm gonna go incognito. We're gonna be like, hey, look, I'm moving here to Frederick County, Maryland. Tell me the real pros and cons of living here to get this stuff that no one tells you. I mean, I can tell you stuff, but there may be things that I don't think is out of the ordinary that I wouldn't feel like I need to relay to you guys, because to me it's normal. And so in this video, we're gonna do that exact thing. So hop on, stick with me. We're gonna hop into the computer and we're gonna do it all. And we're gonna look at the pros and the cons as well to give you the good and the bad and the ugly, to really highlight certain items that you wanna know when you're looking to move here to Frederick County. And I hope this is a ton of information for you guys, something that you won't find anywhere else. Just as promised, I've gone ahead and pulled up Facebook here. As you can see, Everything Frederick is the group I was alluding to. There is 142,000 plus members. So we're gonna be getting a huge sample size, and hopefully a lot of people chime in and really tell you what they think about living here. What we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go anonymous post here, create anonymous post, and I'm gonna copy and paste what I've already written before. So I said, hey everyone, Happy New Year. I'm posting on behalf of a close friend who's considering a big move to Frederick County. Her husband recently got an exciting job offer in the area, and they're relocating from out of state. She'd love to hear from the locals. What do you absolutely love about living here? And what are the challenges she should know about? Please don't hold back. Your honest insights will be a huge help as they make this big decision. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. So I'm kind of coming across as, I don't want to be coming across as a realtor, because that's going to be a skewed results. I want it to truly be someone thinking they're helping someone move to a new area. And I mean, they essentially are. I don't want to be lying here, but this is truly for all of you guys. This post I'm making is truly for anyone that's looking to move here, that's watching this video right now, and it should be a big help. So we're going to post this right now. 3, 2, 1, post. And we're gonna come back in a few days later, and I'm gonna go through them all, and we're gonna see truly what the locals think about the area and give you the good, the bad, the ugly. So see you then. So it has been 4 days since I last posted in the Everything Frederick Facebook group. And when I was going throughout the week, I was checking notifications here and there within those 4 days. And what I came across was some things that I honestly wouldn't have thought to tell you guys. And that's the whole reason I'm doing this video in this type of format. I'm hoping you at least take away one nugget, just one nugget when you leave here that you couldn't find on a forum, that you couldn't find on my previous videos that I've done, or someone else's previous videos, and you really feel like it was worth the time for you to watch me babble about the pros and cons of Frederick if you're thinking about moving here. Now we're gonna go pro con. If you like what you're listening to and you think Frederick might work for you, remember, reach out. I love helping people. I primarily work with people like you listening, help people all the time relocate here to Frederick or Maryland in general, and find that space or that community that works best for them and their family, and overall educate them on what they're getting themselves into. So let's go ahead and talk pros and cons. Now, to start things off, we have pro number one, and this is one of the most important things I want to start off with, and that's the fact that people love living here. Talk to the residents around Frederick, and they are happy with where they are. Now, a lot of kids that I went to school with, they honestly had generations before them that stayed here in Frederick, and they were born into this area and they still have not left. It's nice to be moving to an area that when you're walking around, people are not miserable. maybe in the wintertime when it's right now when it's 30 degrees out, but that's only for the wintertime. And I'm gonna get into a pro later about why some people love that. But overall, I mean, you're gonna walk around, you're gonna see smiles on people's faces, and that's, believe it or not, I mean, it does something to you emotionally when you're around people that are happy. And so I think that's one of the most important to know, is that don't bank on the fact that you're moving somewhere. If you're moving here to Maryland, that you don't know if people enjoy living there, because trust me, I have a lot of family and friends that they are happy and they are not planning on leaving anytime soon. Now, with every pro does come a con, and that brings us to con number one, and that is kind of the fast pace and the growth of Frederick and the amount of people that are migrating here to Frederick. The problem is Frederick is not set up infrastructure-wise to cover this amount of people. We're still in the adjusting phase, it seems like. And she had wrote a lot down here. She had wrote, it's getting too big, way too big, losing the hometown feel people really liked. Traffic is bad and the hospital cannot service the entire community because it's too small. There are a lot of farms, so there are farm smells. Now, if you go deeper into Frederick County up north and go into Washington County and Summer Carroll County, yes, there is going to be farms. There's going to be those smells of a manure, whatever it may be. But for the most part, if you're in the suburbs, you're not going to be smelling any type of cow manure, at least from what I've experienced. Just really depending on where you are. But what I like about that, in my opinion, is just you have more greenery. It's not like you're going to have everything filled with buildings. Hopefully that doesn't become that pretty soon. We are growing, but she had mentioned there's not a lot of decent medical specialists in the area if anyone in your family has significant health problems. And I can understand that. I mean, like I mentioned, population growth, we do have FMH, Frederick Medical Center, and I can understand the fact that maybe there's some certain times where they're just overloaded with the amount of people. But what's so great about that is you do have Montgomery County, you do have Howard County to go somewhere else to find different medical specialists as well as care. Now, I'm not negating for that problem. She's probably correct. I haven't been to FMH in a little while, praise the Lord. But I can see that happening definitely with the amount of population growth. Like I mentioned, people are starting to figure out about the hidden gem of Frederick County and downtown Frederick in general. The homeless population is increasing because rent is outrageous. Now that's kind of a two-pronged con here. I mean, just like any other area in your downtown area, there is a homeless population. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And rent has continued to go up just like any other area right now due to supply and demand, and also the fact that, remember, we have a lot more demand with a lot of more people migrating here to Frederick County. And then looking at schools, we're going to get into schools a little bit later. Someone did comment to reply to her. She did get 9 thumbs up, so she does have a point, and I completely agree with her. I mean, with the amount of population increase here to Frederick, I can totally understand where she's coming from. Someone responded here, what's your problem with farm smells? I thought you liked country life. FYI, it comes with farm smells seasonally, not all the time. I agree with that. Also, good luck finding a great place to live where no one else will ever want to live. I'm also concerned about the recent rapid growth, which I think a lot of people that have lived here for a long time, they're realizing that people are starting to catch on to this area, and a lot of people are coming here, especially from Montgomery County and Virginia. For Frederick's great, but there's also reasonings behind that. But I understand that's inevitable and therefore needs more oversight. Old farms are being sold to developers for many reasons. I recognize the right farm owners cash in on huge increase in their land value. That just ties directly into when more people are coming here, they need to build the infrastructure of Frederick to take care of that many people. And you'll see a lot more developers fighting for land to create more restaurants, to create more rooms for specialty doctors to come in and rent up. So this was a long-winded response, but I kind of capped it all off at there is a fast growth pace right now with population increase coming to Frederick, Maryland, and you are going to have cow smells in certain areas within Frederick. That just comes with the territory of being here, especially if you want a little bit more greenery. There's farm fields here, but that's con number one. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded, but that was a good one for us. Now, pro number 2 is the fact that you have a lot of choices when you're moving here to Frederick to pick a suburb that really fits you and your family's identities, what you're looking for in a property or a neighborhood for that matter, or a location, what you're near. To name a few, you have Urbana, Spring Ridge, New Market, Mount Airy, Middletown, North Frederick over in Whittier and Yellow Springs area. There's a lot of options for you. And I hope I'm starting to tick off every single box of doing these tours of all of these communities, neighborhoods, and new construction areas. But what I like about it is that when you're moving here, you're not pigeonholed into one certain type of neighborhood. You have neighborhoods with a little bit more amenities. Like for example, Urbana, you're gonna have 3 different pools. You're gonna have a workout facility, a YMCA, so there's a lot going on there. And then you have somewhere up in North Frederick maybe where there's not too many amenities, like Sycamore Ridge that I did a video previously on, that you truly are there just to live. There's not like a pool, there's walking trails and such. But as well as you can pick different communities to find what school best aligns with what your kids are looking to be a part of, and whether it be school, sports, and like for example, Urbana, Maryland. Urbana's high school has something called an IB program. If you've listened to my videos, I mention this a lot because I think it's super important for parents to know this. International Bachelorette program. It's a college-based curriculum for the students to hop into. Now, granted, you can come to Urbana if your students test into that program, even if they live in different areas within the county. So that is another option. So like in Urbana, you're not going to be able to find that in a different different community. So each community is offering something different. So when you come here and we start that process to look for a home that works for you here in Frederick County, the number one thing I'm going to be asking is kind of like what you're looking for in terms of the surroundings, what you're looking for in terms of the lot size, as well price point, all these different determining factors that allow me to narrow down where you would fit best, and that allows the process to honestly be a lot smoother because it helps you not go from your information loaded with all these different neighborhoods. We want to knock that down a few levels and have you drive around certain areas and find the spot that best works for you. So pro number 2, definitely have great surrounding suburbs that can offer something a little bit different for each different type of family. Now, con number 2 is the commute. So someone said, look carefully at the commute, and I think that is a really good thing brought up. Now, the commute is as long as you want to make it. Now, a lot of people that are looking to move here, I find, are working typically in DC and Baltimore, Montgomery County, or Howard County. And the reason they migrate here to Frederick County is generally due to the fact that they are getting more for their money, and they're okay with sacrificing a little bit longer of a drive to go into work. Now, what I like about Frederick though is that there's a lot of different avenues for you to get to those areas. You can carpool, number 1. You can also go into Shady Grove in Montgomery County and hop on a metro and go straight into DC. You can take the MARC train and go into Baltimore. And there's a lot of different busing systems. So commuting, finding a way to get to work is not the problem. It's just it's whether you're comfortable with the amount of time spent in a car to get to your destination. Now, a lot of people have been working with lately though, they're working from home due to remote. Hopefully that doesn't change for a lot of companies as we start to really get out of the thick of things and companies start bringing people back into work. But commute, you need to be aware of it. So DC, Baltimore, both on average about an hour away. Montgomery County and Howard County are both probably 30 minutes to get to the middle of each different county. So commute, be aware of it, and it's something we can sit down and talk about and look at the different communities and how it correlates to a commute to where you're actually working. Now, pro number 3 is probably one of the most coveted things about living here in Maryland, in my opinion, and what I've heard from other people is the fact that it has a lot of outdoor activities that are accessible as well as 4 seasons. So this commenter wrote, she loves hiking galore. Outdoor sports, 4 seasons with spring and fall being absolutely stunning, and it's warm all throughout November. And that's very much so true. I mean, if you love mountain biking, we have the Frederick Watershed. We can go up towards Montgomery County and ride along the Potomac River. If you love outdoor skiing, we do have Wisp, which is an amazing resort about 2 hours away here in Western Maryland, as well as you have Whitetail and Liberty about an hour each away from downtown Frederick, which it's not the biggest hills by any means, but it's pretty good skiing for being an hour away. And then you also, if you want to go to a different state, you can go up to Pennsylvania to Seven Springs. That's about 2 to 3 hours as well. So outdoor activities, hiking, Sugarloaf Mountain, a lot of different areas. I mean, I went whitewater rafting before over in West Virginia. That's about an hour away. I've also been kayaking, and I went with a buddy, and his dad took me, and it was one of those things where they actually tie you into the kayak, and it's probably one of the scariest things I've ever been a part of. But nonetheless, it was really fun. It's something that allowed me to do because I'm here in Maryland. And so what else did she had mentioned? She had mentioned fall being in the 4 seasons. So a lot of people don't like the cold, but it's nice to have the cold because it makes that warm weather that much more refreshing. Right now it's January and it's about 30 degrees. We actually just got snow for the first time in a long time, which is really fun. But you have a really beautiful fall time with the leaves changing and everything. You have a pretty decent weather. I mean, Maryland can be bipolar in terms of weather sometimes. Even near Christmas times in the past, it's been 70 degrees sometimes. But for the most part, it's in the 30s to 40s. Sometimes creeps into the 20s, but that's rare. And then in the summertime, you get your 85 to 95 degree weather. And so that allows things to do outside during the summertime. In the fall, go hiking, like I'd mentioned, but you also can go skiing in the wintertime, like I had also mentioned. So 4 seasons, absolutely spectacular. She had mentioned downtown dining, kids activities, close to airports. So another pro is the location. Being here in Frederick, you're close to airports. You have 3 major ones, Ronald Reagan, Dulles, and BWI, just an hour away from all of them, allowing you also to get to international flights. So that's a pro, and you're also around so many different states that are really centrally located from where you are. I mean, you have New York, you have Pennsylvania, you have West Virginia, you have Virginia, if I didn't already mention that. You have Ocean City, which is not, that's in Maryland, but you have Delaware also right there. So there's a lot of different areas that within an hour drive, you can hit a lot of different states and get to New York in 4 hours. You can get to Pennsylvania or Philly in about 2.5, 3 hours. And then let's not forget, you also have DC, and that's something that honestly I forget about because I don't go that often, just because when you live here, kind of get used to it. But when friends and family come, that's where you're going. But it's an amazing area. I mean, I forget how beautiful DC is. Take politics out the window, just DC in general is just a really nice area to go hang out, go outside with friends. And I actually played kickball in front of the National Monument, which is really cool. And so, challenge, she had mentioned a negative, I'll throw in, it's expensive, very much so. I mean, as Frederick is getting bigger and bigger, it is getting more expensive just due to the demand. But it's not as expensive as when you're getting close to Montgomery County and Howard County. If you're looking to move here to Maryland, you get a lot more for your money. But she had also touched on it's becoming too crowded, hospitals and schools. So she also touched on hospitals. So yeah, I mean, we have a really big population increase, and hopefully this infrastructure over the next 10 years really builds around that and doesn't still take away from that small town atmosphere. So overall, pro number 3, great location, great outdoor activities, and great weather in my opinion if you love some good skiing and wintertime, as well as things to do in the summertime. Con number 3 is the potential for changes in the school zoning, as well as the buildup of traffic that hopefully does not happen in the near future. So this commenter said, I would make sure you know what is being built in the futures for schools and traffic. It can really change depending on the future building, and she's completely correct. So what I suggest, if you're looking to move here and you have a certain school you want your kids to be in, is that you do research and where each neighborhood is zoned to in terms of elementary school, middle school, high school. I'm gonna leave a link below that has a link to Frederick County Public Schools that shows you exactly which area is zoned to which school. It's gonna be super important for you guys to know that. Or if you cannot figure that out, feel free to reach out. My link to my Calendly is down below, as well as my phone number that I'd be more than happy to help you with. But I mean, she's true. What you can only do is prepare for it and do your best to do as much research beforehand. But unfortunately, there is no tried and true method to get around that. I can't tell you what's going to happen for the zoning changes with the schools in the future, as well as traffic. I mean, we do have traffic on I-15, but I would say Frederick is primarily, it doesn't have a ton of traffic when you compare it to different cities like DC or Baltimore or anywhere else within the country that's highly populated. Just I-15 tends to get really squeezed during rush hour, but what I found is unless it's an accident, you're only adding about 10 to 15 minutes to your commute, which really is not horrible. So just keep in mind that is a con, that we don't know exactly what's going to happen for the school zoning, but that goes for any other place that has high schools, and that goes for anywhere in the country. So traffic also, let's hope it doesn't get too bad, but it just comes along with the city that's growing. All right, lastly, we have the bonus round. This commenter wrote something that's kind of a mosh pit of everything between pro and a con, so I decided to throw it all in one. So this commenter, now if you don't want to hear me read, it's a long one, mute me. It does not matter to me. I probably wouldn't want to listen to myself either that much. So they had said, we moved here about a year ago, very close to downtown near the airport. State and local taxes and utilities are costly compared to where we were. She brought up a really good point. You need to be aware of the city taxes that you can sometimes be placed into depending on the location of the home that you purchase. City taxes can add quite a bit of money to your monthly nut that you're paying for your mortgage in terms of property taxes. You're paying these city taxes on top of the county taxes. So you just need to be aware of that and do a little bit more research or ask me, send me homes that you may have a question and want to know whether you are going to be a part of the city limits or not. Moving on, she said, the city center is great around the country. So many centers are abandoned and once busy malls are as well. Several nice bakeries and delis. And she goes on to list a few of these different delis, bakeries, places to go do things, and stores. So that's something that's big to note. Here in downtown, there is a ton of different stores, shops for trail, for hiking, for they have this really cool soda shop that I love going to. It has a ton of different flavors of soda that people love, as well as toy stores and everything under the sun. Just a lot of knickknacks you can come in and find that you can't find anywhere else. And downtown, let alone, is just beautiful. A lot of restaurants. You can eat down here. Carroll Creek Park that she had mentioned later in this is absolutely stunning to walk along the water. And during the wintertime, like right now, they actually put boats in the water in the wintertime and put lights on them, and it looks really cool. And so you will not run out of food. You will not run out of things to shop for. You will not run out of physical activity areas like Baker Park to go run, to go do bocce ball, to go play baseball, whatever it may be. And breweries, if you love to drink, we have you covered. Rack Brewing, Steinhardt Brewery, Attaboy, I could continue to list them. We have rooftop bars. So a lot of areas, if you're a downtown person and like to go out, we got you covered. And then she said, also go to Senior Center for some things, as well as Community College and Hood College. So within downtown Frederick, we also have a beautiful Hood College that has some pretty cool sporting events going on. Baker Park has a ton to do. They have Baker Park Bandshell, as well as you have the Weinberg Center to see some plays and recitals and so forth. And to outlying cities like Middletown, Thurmont, and Urbana, farm stores, Catoctin Park. This could be a 40-minute video explaining all these different suburbs, what they offer, going up towards Emmitsburg and Pennsylvania and Gettysburg. They have an amazing place to stop on the side of the road and have some home-baked pies and so forth. She mentioned we have been down to DC for Smithsonian exhibits, for driving to Shady Grove, station and parking there, up to Gettysburg and all over Annapolis. So this just highlights also this central location of Maryland. You're super close to Annapolis to be on the water and the Bay Bridge. Also to Ocean City, I forgot the beaches down there, and to Virginia Beach about 4 hours. And so you also have Gettysburg with a ton of history to drive up to an hour away. And let's not forget about DC. I've lived here for so long, I kind of forget I'm so close to DC, and every time I go back, I wonder why I'm not there more. And especially when you have people visiting, it's a really good thing to take up a whole day, to take them out to DC, to take them to an Orioles game, Ravens game, a bunch of different sporting events. We have the Keys, which is a baseball team here in Frederick. I'm looking to the side because I'm looking at this comment here, but she said, I like the wildlife, saw a red fox say, and 4 hawks. We have a great blue heron, many deer, owls, ghost shock, sorry, I probably saying that wrong, and red-shouldered hawks, and an eagle. A lot of, like I'd mentioned, this is kind of just wrapping up what I just said, but there's a lot of outdoor things to do, a lot of animals out here, which is really cool, and a lot of things to do up towards Gettysburg as well. Though it takes time to get first appointment, local medical service is actually pretty good. So she kind of, I guess, levels the playing field again. There is really good medical places to go to. I mean, you have Johns Hopkins, Maryland Baltimore Medical Center right up the road as well, towards DC and Baltimore, as well as Children's National Hospital, where I've gotten a few surgeries done actually and have had great success with them. So medical centers, yes, I completely understand the person coming from the FMH side of things, where it can get backlogged with the amount of people that are trying to get in that hospital. But overall, I mean, wrapping us up here, Frederick, I mean, there's pros, there's cons, but I genuinely think that people that live here, and especially the people that that have moved here, that I've helped, coming from California, from Europe, from different areas within Maryland to Frederick, from down south in North Carolina, they love living here. I mean, they're genuinely happy with where they've landed, with the opportunities, the people they've built around them in terms of a community that they've fostered, and I think you'll love it here. So I hope this was full of helpful information for you, and I wasn't just babbling on the whole time, and you got some nuggets that you can pull out of this information and take back to a family member of yours when you guys are coming together with all the research you've done about Frederick, and got something that you wouldn't find in a blog, in another video previously, or a forum, whatever it may be. So I hope to see you guys in the next one. And remember, if you're making your move here, I'm here to help. Go ahead, and I have my Calendly down below. I have my email, my phone number is gonna be right here. Generally, that's mainly who I help. People just like you watching this video, coming here to Maryland. That's why I love it. I love taking you guys around the city that I grew up in, and that I genuinely do find great joy in sharing with others. So I will see you guys in the next video.